Hi, I'm Cassidy, and God's shown up in some pretty unconventional ways in my life. My junior year of college, it was the last month of school. I had had major transformation in my life and was starting to finally follow God. I was about to put on a health fair, and someone who I hadn't spoke to for over a year decided to expose pictures of me all over social media. They tried to shut down my event. They told me a believer could not represent anything that is of God with these photos out of me, even though they were from a year before. I just couldn't escape because social media wouldn't even take it down. Being exposed on social media was all of my innocence being stolen from me. It's easy to judge the person for the sin that they committed. I knew I committed a sin by sending that photo, but I was manipulated. I didn't think that it would be used in that way. And I felt hurt by God that I wasn't protected. I felt hurt by the people that spread it, the rejection, the gossip, everything like that. One day at the beach, I had met a girl, and we had become really close during this time, and I had been expressing that the social media hadn't been taken down yet. And she was like, "Had you given it to God yet?" And I said, "Yeah, actually last night I was on my knees crying for hours and hours and worshiping." And she was like, "Well, have you checked after that?" And we went and checked, and the social media had been taken down. The hardest part of my testimony was the exposure I experienced on social media. And for many years, I avoided using social media just altogether. And He's called me to lead a social media ministry called Kept Daughters. It's from Jude 1:1, where it speaks to women that we are called, we are beloved, and we are kept by Jesus. And that we're in a time of identity crisis, and helping women understand their emotional and spiritual health and living through the identity of who Jesus says they are is one of the ways that God has unconventionally used me. I'm like, wow, He's using every little piece and knitting it together in different seasons of my life. Now I lead a young adult women's single group, and I'm just like, the stories that I can have with them and relate with them on being single now and not married when I thought I would be married, but watching Him use me still on purpose and to be creative. It's not when a man gets down on his knee for you that you become worthy. It's when Jesus died on the cross that you became worthy. That's why God calls me to the darkest corner, to reach women and not only maybe help prevent them from sending a photo themselves, but also telling them that if they did, their worth isn't in what the guy thinks of them. Their worth isn't what anyone else is saying about them. It's all in Jesus. Giving God control again of the exposure. But knowing I just have such an assurance that He's going to touch one girl. Like, if it's just one girl, yeah. I love to sew. I have such a reverence now for God's creativeness. God is the greatest creator, and we can tap into that. And I have learned how to upcycle fashion, take old things and make them new, just like He's done with me. And I don't look for man's approval anymore like I used to, or acceptance. It's me making unconventional, different fashion that is fly, I would say. It's not maybe me showing off my skin like I used to. It's about showing God's creativeness through fashion. Jude 1:1 is the scripture that I rely on so much. I'm Jesus' kept daughter. He keeps me. And when you truly believe in that identity, that He keeps you in all the storms and He can use it for His good, it changes how you walk. And now in seasons of current suffering, like my life isn't perfect now, I'm walking through current suffering, He's keeping me. And my faith isn't lost. Like before, my faith would be lost. I would say, God, take me from this earth. But now I'm like, no, God, continue to send me out in this earth.